G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel. Hope all is good in your part of the world, and today on the channel we are going GSHOCK Remastered. These were released yesterday here in the UK and came with rather a unique or new shopping experience, as G-Shock had set up a queue to get onto the website. For me it took about 30 minutes. There were a lot of punters in the queue. Let me just shift this around. Apologies for the noise. Genuine unboxing. There's a suggestion that these are strictly limited, but I've never quite got what CASIO actually meant by limited edition, because there's no definition of what limited. So there's no definition as to how many watches constitute being limited. Anyway, enough of that. Seems they're becoming slightly victims of their own hype. You know what they say to that. Don't believe the, can I get an H? All right, let's move on. 1 second, let me pause and zoom in a little bit. All right, so got the bucket packaging out of the way. Let's crack our box. Got the blurb in there, which we don't really care about. Some instructions on actually how to open the box on the inside. It is a special G-Shock box, or a G-box. And I remember thinking when I saw this on the website that I would kind of like it, but now that I've got it in hand, it kind of reminds me of what my takeaway was served in the other day. Really sure it's like, yeah, it's the kind of a, not sure if you can see it online, it's kind of like an egg box. But anyway, enough rambling, let's get the watch out of the bag, because that's what everybody came to see today. Voila, there it is. The very, very, very much anticipated release or re-release of the 6640, which to me is the best one out of the bunch of the remasters. The others do look good. I'm not saying that they don't. It's just to me that the 6600 series, discontinued in 2010, it just holds that place in G-Shock history as being one of the all-time OG standout classics. It really is a very, very special watch in G-Shock history. I think it's going to be, this re-release of this particular one is going to be huge for them. It has those military links, obviously, with the Navy SEALs. It's been seen in multiple movies on the wrist of Bradley Cooper here. Making them, making the original ones really sought after by G-Shock collectors, and the prices of those OGs from the noughties, etc. onwards, are getting kind of steep. So some key features then on these remasters. They all feature these celebratory 40th anniversary stars either on the crystal, and on this particular one they pop up, as you can just see there, on the mode button down the bottom. So little birthday star, and obviously that's the button that you use to scroll through your not massive number of functions on this particular one, but you know, alarms, stopwatches, etc, etc. You also then have, through this button here, our birthday logo on the backlight, so the 40th on the backlight. I'll add some dark shots up here so that you can see a little bit better. Also note that an upgrade on this one is that this backlight is now a super illuminator LED, and basically that just means it's better for the battery because it drains it less. The case back then, as I showed just previously, is that standard screw-in plate, and again with the 40th logo on the center. Let me just get rid of that. Focus then on the other key detailing here, which is this shiny gold 4-star gold keeper. Now, I get, let's just get rid of that. I mean, I get that, you know, gold and black as a colorway, they work well together, and this one is very, very shiny and looks very nice, but it's the only bit of gold on here. It doesn't match the buckle, so I'm not really quite sure on that one. I was kind of expecting to be a bit more excited, but anyway, that doesn't matter. These are pretty easy to swap out if that's something that if like me you're looking for something perhaps a little bit more muted. I certainly won't be swapping out that strap though, because let me just try and zoom in a little bit more. On there you have all of the G-SHOCK releases and model references, and I just think for for us G-SHOCK addicts, watch nutters, that is a stroke of design. I was going to say design. It's a Jizzmaster. It is indeed design genius to put all those references on there. It's just exactly what us watch idiots want. Let me throw it on wrist while I'm rambling. As you'd expect for the size of these things, you know, here it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. Just fits absolutely perfect. It's kind of stealthy, kind of muted, and looks the mutt's nuts. And I'm just looking at it from a distance. I'll throw up some distance shots here because those textured reference numbers essentially just disappear a little bit from distance, but then up close, yeah, giving you plenty of eye candy. I'm kind of glad as well that they went with putting this version with a positive display instead of going all dark as they did do, for example, on the blacked out Rangeman. Obviously, you know, for us, those with aging eyes and those that want to see what time it is, actually, that positive display works really well. I mean, I mentioned that matte finishing on here as well. It's quality. It really is. I've got absolutely no. I'll just bring the light down a little bit closer. Yeah, blemishless. Really, really nice. Obviously, around your light button there, it is a little bit of a lint crevice crack. What should we call it? And yeah, you're probably going to need to clean that out on a regular basis. But yeah, I mean the buttons as well themselves, they're not massive. They are fractionally larger than perhaps on some of the G-SHOCK squares. But I mean, yeah, I can get my fingers in there, you know, without too much of an issue. Yeah, it works all right. Yeah, I can operate that without too much of a adjust button there as well. Yeah, it works fine. Yeah, no issues at all with those buttons. It's not solar, which will irk many of you, but the real estate around that dial there, as you can see, probably doesn't give them a massive amount of space to work with, including solar cells. But I guess you're going to be getting 2 to 3 years depending on how much you're fussing around with your backlight and other bits and pieces. And I'm pretty confident that they're going to be upgrading other versions of this one as well in the future. For example, if this all black version doesn't do it for you, be patient. I've already seen some shots of this one particularly that's going to come out soon as well, looking very 1980s, that colorway. Furthermore, of the remaster range that was released yesterday, this is one of the cheaper ones, and I think they've done well to price it at that point. With the current economic nonsense here in the UK, not everyone can pay the latest prices of the Master of G range, so it is a watch for all wallets, and that gets my vote very quickly. I checked out the website later on that day just to look at some specs on this one, and there were still plenty of people queuing. I don't know if it completely sold out, as I say, because I don't really know what they mean by limited edition. All right, guys, bit of a run through there. I'll wear it for a week or so and see if there's anything else that I particularly want to flag up on this one for you. It'd be good to hear your thoughts as to whether you keep the Gold Keeper or not, and is the watch a keeper. If you're not a G-SHOCK junkie, I think it still might tickle your tickly bits because it does look the mutt's nuts. Brilliant style, brilliant shape. Yeah, fantastic. All right, guys. Thanks as always for your time and your view, and catch you in the next vid. Cheers.